Hello everyone, today I'm going to be filming a 2000 subscriber special video. By the way, thanks everyone for your support and comments and likes and shares. And of course, 2000 subscribers, which is a very large milestone. Thank everyone for your support. So today we're going to be doing an Apple collection video. So I'm going to start with the Macs, then the iPads, and the iPods, and the iPod Touches, and the iPhones. So let's start right now. So here are my 6 MacBooks. Here's my MacBook Air 13-inch 2017. Here's my MacBook Pro 15-inch 2015. And here's my 2006 MacBook Pro 17-inch, the Core Duo model, the original one. And here is a 2008 polycarbonate MacBook. This is a 2010 plastic unibody MacBook. And at the bottom is a 2007 black MacBook. So now we move on to the iPods. No, wait, the iPads, sorry. Here's my iPad Mini 4 on iOS 12 beta. And here's my iPad Pro 9.7 on iOS 12 beta. Here's my iPad 2 on iOS 4.3.3, and it's a 32GB in black. And forgot to mention these. This is a space gray 128 gig Wi-Fi one, and here is a 128 gig Wi-Fi one. Both of these are space gray. And here this is another iPad 2 on iOS 8.4.1. I didn't boot it up. It's a cellular model, and it's 32GB in black. And at last we have an iPad 1 16 gigs on iOS 5.1.1. So now let's go to the iPods. Here is my iPod Touch first generation 16GB on iOS 3.1.3. And here's my iPod Touch 2 on iOS 2.1.1, and it's a 32 gig model. And here is a 32 gig iPod Touch third generation on iOS 4.1. And here's my iPod Touch 4th generation in black. It is a 32 gig model on iOS 4.3.3. Here's my iPod Touch 5 16GB in black or gray on iOS 6.1.3. And here's my iPod Touch 6th generation in blue, 32GB on iOS 11.4.1. And here are my iPod Classics. This is my iPod Classic 4th generation monochrome display. And here's my 80GB iPod Video in white. Here's my iPod Video 30 gigs in black. Here's my iPod Classic 3rd generation. It's a 40 gig model. And this is a iPod 1st generation 5GB. And this is my gray iPod Classic 7th generation in 160GB. And here is my iPod Nano 3rd generation, which is in gray, and it's 8GB. There's my 4GB iPod Mini second generation, and here's my iPod Shuffle 1st generation in 512MB. And now here are the iPhones. This is my iPhone 2G 16GB on iOS 2.2.1. Here's my iPhone 2G, which is 4GB on iOS 1.0. Here's my iPhone 2G on iOS 1.1.2. And here's a dead iPhone 2G. I didn't charge it as a broken power button. It's on 3.1.3. And here's my iPhone 3G on iOS 2.0, and it's a 16 gig model in black. This is my iPhone 3GS, which is in white, and it's 32GB on iOS 3.1. Here's my iPhone 3GS on iOS 4.2.1. It's a 16 gig in white. Here's my iPhone 4 on iOS 5.1.1, and it's a 16 gig white model. Here's my iPhone 4 on iOS 4.3.3, which is a 32 gig model in black. Here's my iPhone 4S on iOS 5.1 in black, 16 gigs. Here's my 16 gig iPhone 4S in white on iOS 7.0.2. And here we have my iPhone 4S on iOS 5.1.1, and it's a white model. And here is my iPhone 5 in slate or black on iOS 6.0, and is a 32 gig model. And this is my iPhone 5S on iOS 7.0.4 in gold and 16 gigs. This is my 16 gig space gray iPhone 5S on iOS 9.3.1. And this is my iPhone 5C in green, 16 gigs on iOS 10.3.3. This is my iPhone 5C in white, and it's a 16 gig on iOS 7.0.6. And here's my iPhone SE, 64 gigs on iOS 12 beta in silver. And here is my iPhone 6 on iOS 8.1 in silver, is 128 gigabytes. Here is my iPhone 6S in gold. Originally it was rose gold, I replaced the casing. Is 128 gigabytes on iOS 9.3.3. And here's my iPhone 7, 128 gigabytes in gold on iOS 10.0. Here's my iPhone 6S Plus on iOS 9.1. It's a silver 64 gig model. Here's my iPhone 7 Plus in jet black. It's 128 gigabytes on iOS 10.3.1. And of course, I have my iPhone 10, which is filming this video right now. It is a 256 gig model in silver on iOS 11.3.1. And of course, I still have my Apple Watches. This is my Apple Watch Series 2 stainless steel, 42 millimeters. And here's my Apple Watch Series 0, which is space gray. And this basically wraps up my whole entire Apple collection. Thank you for watching, and peace out.